everybody? Welcome to Legacy TV and the Convo podcast. And I'm very excited today because, you know, when I first started doing this podcast, that I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just kind of like, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring on some of the coolest guests. And, you know, I happened to run into this amazing fighter and friend of mine. And he came on the show and he helped me in the beginning stages, which after I had him on, I didn't even really get a chance to talk to him too much about it. But, you know, my channel really started to go up from there. Like all the UFC fighters started following me after I had him on. So it was amazing for me because having him on the show, it really started to bring me up. And then people saw that, and then more and more people start coming, and the show just got bigger and bigger. And then, you know, I brought him on right before he had his fight. And, you know, my brother went out there and not only did, like, we're talking about, sometimes he says they say he's a grappler, but first he like knocked the dude out with the left hook, and then he like got on top and choked him out. I got my boy Wilson Reis in the house.
Yeah,
what's going on, bro?
Man.
Thank you so much for coming back, bro.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
It means a lot to me to have you here, bro. And I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about, and you know, let's start it off with just like how you been, bro. Like how's everything going? Like as far as health wise, like how you been since, you know, I seen you last and everything. Any injuries?
Everything's great, man. Everything's great. You know, like training, man. You know, like I'm very fortunate, man. Blessed to live, you know, the life I live. You know, like training, teaching jiu-jitsu, you know, like personal training, and all that. And man, the Korean's been amazing, man. You know, fighting MMA. Now my last fight was in Cage Warriors on the end of February, and man, I fought this guy from Hawaii, you know, Toby Misach, and then able to knock him down early in the first round with the hook, and then finish with the katagatami. You know,
you kind of set that when I watched it, because I wanted to come to the fight, bro, but. You know, instead I watched it, and you kind of set that up with making him kind of
a couple times,
you dipped, right? Like
I did a great job, like with the head movements. My coaches were saying that because he has like 8 finishes under his record, so we knew he was a danger guy. And so we just tried to like, that was still in the beginning of the fight, so I was trying to like figure out my range. But I was very confident. I knew it was going to be hard to take him down in the first round because I'm pretty sure he defended a lot in training. But man, like when you least expect, man, the punch landed, you know, and I was able to, you know, take him down and follow him to the ground pound. And, you know, he's a great fighter too. So then I saw he started to kind of recover and then find the wall. So I cannot let this guy get up. I have him hurt. I gotta make sure I finish. And then I was like right there. My arm was on his armpits. I started walking my hand around and able to get him on katagatami, and then I was able to finish from there.
For those that don't know what that is, explain to them.
The katagatami, the choke is the head and arm choke. Head and arm choke.
Yes, exactly. So some people might know that version. Some people may not. You know, I name moves all kinds of crazy stuff on my YouTube channel. So if you go on mine, it might not even say that. But the traditional American word for it is the head and arm choke.
Head and arm choke.
One of my favorite chokes for sure, especially for like MMA.
For MMA is there a lot. The way that you block, the way you set it up, you know, we on the over and under grip a lot. So and then. I think it's for the same reasons. Well, in jiu-jitsu is not. I mean, in jiu-jitsu, like in the gi, it's very hard to do it. Yeah, you can still do it, but I'll do a similar version with the lapel. But the no gi and MMA, man, that's there every time, you know. And then I was able to get the line in MMA already.
Yeah, and you know what you know what I was thinking is it looked like he was very worried about you going in for a takedown. I knew you kind of played off that, right? Because it looked like you kind of like made him. He kept making him. That's very important for a lot of fighters, like young fighters coming up to, especially like for grapplers too, because you want them to worry about the takedown. You want them to be worried about that.
Whatever shot. You're dominant in one discipline, the easiest game playing will be just okay. We gotta avoid hit the jiu-jitsu, but for me to go to do jiu-jitsu, I had to take him down first. So when a couple times I just kind of faked to go to the leg, I knew he was on point. I said, man, this guy. Yeah. So we knew that the first round I wasn't even gonna waste my energy to try to take him down, but I did feint a couple times to see, just to get the reaction, to get in the back of his mind I was gonna shoot, you know. And then I was able to fake a low shot and boom, land.
What better wrestling takedown than a left hook?
Yeah, left hook. Hey, I'll take that any day of the week, man.
And then the highlight.
Oh yeah,
the highlight was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you scream.
I think just because I know how good he is, and then it's much better, like. At the end of the day, man, it's who you fight. For me at this point in my career, I just want to fight guys that make sense for me. And then a lot of that is what they have done already, who they fought. If I get a guy that has 30 fights, but I look at the records and then he never fought anybody great, so I don't want to fight this guy.
Right.
Or I gotta fight this young guy that's 6'7", or I don't want to fight him either. I want to fight somebody that's kind of not near my age, but that has done something in the sport.
Right. You
and
deserve that.
Toby has done something, in the Bellator and everything. So I had to turn a couple guys down, but whatever I get, some fights like that, I accept it right away. My next opponent, he's still a younger guy and he fights for
Bruno Souza.
Bruno Souza. Yeah. So he also fought in the UFC too. So you want to fight for me, man? I want to fight guys that that fought good promotions too.
For sure.
Otherwise, I'm gonna it's not gonna be. I'll get a good win. I say, man, that was
I believe
he was on my level.
He also fought in karate combat recently.
He is fighting for combat. Yeah. I think he's he's definitely a karate MMA guy. Also a jiu-jitsu guy.
He's a black belt.
He's a black belt as well. Yeah,
for sure. He trains with Machida, huh?
He looks at me, man. And I love Machida, man.
Shout out to the Machidas. Yeah, man. I was a big fan of
Yeah. And he seemed like a very traditional guy, like Machida camp. All those guys from the camp, man, they're nice, and
super
most
respectful.
Super. And then most of them, they're from the nice part of Brazil, Natal.
Yeah,
I think it's not Natal. They're from different Belém, which is near, but there's the north of Brazil by the Amazon. So they're those guys are gangster, man. They're good.
Yeah. I mean, from back in the days, I remember when Lyoto, they said he was drinking his own pee, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be a different breed of animal to do that.
And that's what the place they invented the acai, So those guys are gonna be strong.
Yeah, man.
So whenever you gotta fight somebody from that part of the country, man, you better make sure your card is on point.
Yeah. This is a big fight. So the guys,
I'm very excited.
Obviously, the guy's got stand-up skills and he's been on the ground. But so are you. At the end of the day, right? You're good at everything too, bro. And what you got, I feel like, is you got a lot of experience now.
Yes, more than anything.
And you're in shape, bro. Yes. When you walked up, I'm like, God damn, bro. No wonder. So featherweight. This is now. Here's my question, right? So this fight's at featherweight. I was looking at Cage Warriors. They don't have a featherweight champion right now.
They actually this weekend they're fighting for one. Yeah, they're in England this weekend. Yeah, the belt is vacant because I think the champion got signed with the UFC. I think something like that.
Oh, okay.
So the belt just became vacant, and there are two guys who are fighting for the belt in England this weekend. Yeah. So hopefully after this win, that's
what I was gonna say. So if after, because you're actually coming off a highlight reel, knockout / submission, right? Oh, because I mean, when he hit the ground, you could see his eyes roll back in the head. So it's
a big shot.
It was two. It was a knockout. I called it a knockout, then a submission.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, if you go out there and you put on another show, which we know that's what we expect from you.
So that's what I'm training for.
Is ready for a title shot after that.
Yeah, Cage Warriors are doing a tournament as well. They're doing a 4-man tournament, which is exciting because interesting at the same time because there's 2 fights at the same night. And so I'm gonna see, man. They're pretty good pay. I think it's 50 G's. I'll take that money.
For sure.
So then I definitely want to get a good win on this one, and then I'm actually gonna try to do that because there's you don't get paid near that in the cage wars. If I get that money, I'd rather get the money than the belt.
Yeah, for sure.
This point in my career,
the belt doesn't mean money. It means future opportunity.
Exactly.
Sure, but money is what you're after. This is what you're doing. You're putting your health and your blood on the line. You want to get paid, bro.
Of course,
sure.
And at the same time, for me, be good to test yourself. Imagine 2 fights on the same night. That's some gladiator stuff. Just you have to the mind and the body gotta be ready. Maybe you have the good first fight, maybe a bad first fight. And if you get the winner, you get to fight again.
I think would help you a lot for that style of fight is because of jiu-jitsu tournaments as well.
Yeah.
Because you've gotten used,
you're in the bracket.
yeah, you got to fight multiple times.
Yes.
So it's not that it's the same, because of course there's the punching, the strikes is different, but the mentality of I gotta go against, I gotta go against multiple people. I gotta go a few rounds here. I gotta be smart on this first fight. It's strategic when it's a tournament. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah,
you know?
man, and it was kind of old school. Like, they don't do that anymore. And then the Cage Wars brought that up. I said, man, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I'm gonna see. So my goal, obviously, I'm all my focus in this fight now. But my after that, I'm definitely want to plan on being on that tournament. You know, and if for whatever reason that didn't happen, see what's next. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Now, let's say you do. Let's. You know, I think what's going to happen is you become Cage Warrior, you know, featherweight champion.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that does happen, or what's been like the thought process behind everything, bro? Like, are you like at a point now where like, do you want to go back to a bigger promotion after that?
Yeah.
Or do you? Because I mean, you look good as ever right now. Yes. Right? I feel like, you know, like you're only getting sharper. So if the opportunity arises and you do what you want to do over here at Cage Warriors, there's still a chance that you could go in there and mix it up, you know, in the UFC again.
Yes. Yeah, man. Like, you know, like I keep my the goal. At the end of the day, you have to put in good performance, you know. So that's what I'm training for. Is especially after my last fight, man. That was very exciting. So I always knew I had it, and now it's even more excited for me to do training and focus on my strike and focus on my jiu-jitsu. And at the end of the day, the people love to see in fighting is finish, man. You have to work trying hard for the finish. The finish, they'll get a lot of doors open, you know.
Yeah.
So
another highlight.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So then when the man, like, no, at the end of the day, man, the sky is the limit. You know, I feel actually you pointed out something good. Like, I feel like great. I feel amazing. You know, my training, my sparring partners, man, my sparring sessions, and my training is being one of the best ever, because now I know how to done. I have all these experiences that I'm using, you know. So
and
I'm having fun too, man. I'm not just like. I done so much like training session when I'm like strict. I didn't do anything. I just and a couple ones I did too much. So now I'm like mixing it up, you know. And then at the end of the day, you gotta be happy with yourself, and, you know, make sure you enjoy life at the same time.
For sure.
You know, and then also, like, you know, being 39 right now, I have done a little bit of everything. So now I got the experience to, you know, like that. It's a time to hang out, time to train, and now overtrain. Don't train too little, don't train too much. You know, that's my thing.
Don't get injured and
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure after this many years in training as a professional, you've gone through all the, like, you know, bumps and bruises. So you've got it dialed in. Like, I got to train in a certain way to where with my sparring partners, I'm not going in there to kill. We're not going in there to kill each other anymore. I know how to fight.
Yeah, we go a little bit hard, but go hard with the technique. You know. Yeah.
For sure. I saw you recently, I think not too long ago, another picture with Dominic, right?
Yeah.
And I think Angie.
Angie, yeah. So we'll train together.
She just had a
last Saturday.
You know, shout out to Angie. I met her at Jiu-Jitsu World League too, and I said, "What's up?"
And she competed too, man. She won too. Bro. Yeah.
I remember when they used to like talk shit that she was a Muay Thai striker. Yeah. Are you kidding me? She's really good at Jiu-Jitsu,
she put on the work, man. You know, like I really. I say, man, like I really don't like, you know, like I really thought that her coach, Jordan, an amazing guy too, Jordan Faria, you know, Aliança, San Diego, should have give that brown belt back. She look better than ever. She fought like a girl like Luana. She's a great grappler. She's a judo black belt. I'm not sure what belt she's in jiu-jitsu, but I know her jiu-jitsu coach, amazing guy in Brazil too. So at the end of the day, like, she's an amazing grappler. And then Angie went there, man, you know, like stop her judo, stop her jiu-jitsu, and then better yet, finish her with jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. At the Jiu-Jitsu World League, I watched her compete in jiu-jitsu. I was like, damn, she's good, bro. Yeah. She won the bracket there, and then I seen her choke somebody out over the way. I'm like, what are they? She's not a striker. She's a mixed martial artist,
bro. That's to show that how
real shit. Shout out Angie Overkill.
Where her confidence is. Not only her work ethic and her training, she does that amazing, but her confidence, man, you know, and she believes in herself, and she went there, she delivered.
Yeah, she did, for sure. Shout out to her and much success. Now, also, like, are you still sparring and getting in there with Dominic?
Yeah, man. I mean, whatever he's in town, man, he's always in town, but he's always, you know, he's always traveling, doing his thing. But man, every time we get opportunity, I would know, like, is, even though it's it'll be a hard round. He will try to knock your head off. But man, he's amazing. He's so much experience.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He's a cool dude.
Do you pick his brain before your fights a little bit, like, because he's such a good analyst, and he breaks down shit better than anybody I've seen. Like, so I would assume that, especially if you're training with him, if he knows who you're fighting, he's
know. Man, ask a couple questions there, man. We know each other so well, man. Then they all need to train with him, and I'm just have him there, and he's a guy that he cares for all of us there. We have not only him, I have Jeremy Steven there with me every day. I have a couple other uppercomers, and then
Jeremy Steven,
for a little heater, man. Beast.
Man, I love watching Jeremy fight, man. that guy, like, he's just like, it's chaos when that dude fights, man, and he can crack.
Yeah.
How are some sparring sessions? You get in there and mix it up with him?
I'll do some light spar with him, man. That's not hard.
Yeah,
you don't want him to get excited through a big one. But he's actually a guy that he's he's been there with so many, man. I think his record is ridiculous. It's like 60, 70 fights, and then like 40, at least 40 KOs, knockouts.
Yeah,
so he has like, I should try to like pick his brain a little bit, and he's real nice, like teaching us a couple of stuff. He's slick, and just to be there, I train with him. But at the same time, when you get there, you're nervous because you don't want to make one mistake and just wake up.
Yeah, bro. And then like in the sparring sessions, like when you guys are getting ready for an MMA fight, for example, are you guys sparring with the small gloves a lot, or do you guys?
We do usually no.
But you tone it down with
a little bit. I mean, we have to the little gloves, but we all have bigger MMA gloves now, which you can go a little harder.
Yeah, those ones are sick.
And I wear headgear, man. I wear headgear so I can go a little bit harder, and at the same time, if I get caught, I won't get cut or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to hate headgear. I love headgear. I bought a good one, and I always make sure I have one.
Yeah, I think people like look down on like, oh, I'm a man. I don't need to wear a headgear, but it's like, dude, you're like protecting yourself. Like,
but I think a lot of people do it just because you're not going to wear the fight. Kind of makes sense too, but at the same time, I say, man, I want to make sure I make to the fight.
Make it to the fight, yeah.
And then sometimes it's a simple thing as a headbutt. You get a black eye a week before the fight or a cut. And I see many times happen because guys didn't have headgear. That's for that reason I wear. And a couple of times it sucks, but you get used to.
Yeah, for sure. Are you in the meanwhile, like in between your fights, bro? Like we talked about, about everything, like as far as your fight, like are you getting good recovery now as you're getting older? Because I know I'm getting older, and like I told a couple of my students the other day, I said every time I train now I feel like I was in a car accident the next day. My neck hurts, my lower back hurts, I have bulging discs and stuff. And, as you start to get older, like, and being a martial artist as long as you are, what do you think like helps you to stay like what does recovery that help you with the food? What do you think is the best thing that helps you to kind of stay young? And
for me, man, like at the end of the day is you just gotta stay consistent to the training, because if you do take breaks, that comeback is always gonna be harder, so like say if I'm always rolling with my students. I always train at the gym. I'm never, let's say if after a fight I'll take a week off, but I'm hitting the bag. I think if you stretch and if you train, it's the basic. I say like jiu-jitsu is a sport that we can do a little until you die, like as long as you know how to do it. Like I say, every time you train, you're gonna stretch. We have the warm up, and then we have the rounds, and afterwards you should stretch a little bit before you go home, because then you can come back tomorrow. And I told those guys, I say, man, don't train like your last day, in the world, and make sure. I say, think about your teammates too, because if you're your teammate, guess what? You don't have a teammate tomorrow. So you gotta make sure, like, it's not gonna give you anything by winning the round. Make sure if you want to win the round with technique rather than just try to kill your partner, and make sure they don't hurt each other. But it takes time to get to that point, before I told this and I didn't realize, man, it's gonna take.
They have to understand.
They have to understand that they're gonna get to the blue level, purple belt level, to be able to know how to wear less strength, and then be wise where to put the leg. With a lot of injuries could be stopped, but there's a lack of experience. So I'm trying now. Teaching class, became a better teacher just by do drills that kind of keep both them safe. For
sure, yeah, bro. You're 100. This is something that I've talked to a lot lately about with my students, and I keep reminding them that, like, this, like, when you guys are getting on the mat to train with each other, like, this is you're for a long time. I feel like in many gyms, this shark versus shark, whoever can make it to and stay there, and then they gotta all like try to kill each other each round, and you lose so many people like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're
it was kind of sorry to interrupt you, but it was like back in Brazil, it's kind of how we were brought up by like that kind of rule set. It was kind of go hard. If there's a new guy coming in, they should kill that guy. So how are you gonna have students? Yeah, how are you gonna have students if the guy coming in and you just kill the guy? That means he's not coming back.
It's like
such a bad bad way to think.
I remember too, because I'm not gonna lie, bro, I was like that too. Like especially like when I was blue, purple belt, I'm like, dude, I'm just learning to get good. Any new guy was coming in there, I wanted to like set an example, like, oh, you're not gonna come to our gym.
Yeah, exactly. Especially coming from a different gym.
It's funny though, now like as a 4th degree black belt, I'm completely opposite. Yeah. If anything, the new guy, I'm like, let him come with me first. Yeah. I'm gonna go very lightly with him. I might tap him, but
see what he's about.
I might tap him, but very nicely. If he's crazy, I'm gonna slow him down, wear him out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And explain to him like it's your job as a teacher to keep, if you want to keep those type of individuals in your gym and not have them hurt. For example, I had like the females in your class, or the lawyers or doctors that have normal jobs. That you have to be, as the coach, on top of those beginners.
Yes, 100%.
And make sure that they get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. So
I think it was like back in the day, man, it was like that. So it was never, and then when I started teaching class, I made so many mistakes looking back. And now I try to learn from those mistakes. I definitely lost a lot of students.
Same here. Same here. Not everybody wants to come and train super hard and get destroyed and like get tapped out 50 times. No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Like I tell people, like, you got to think about it. If you tap your training partner 2-3 times, it's enough.
Yeah.
Like why would I want to tap the guy 8-9 times? I want to humiliate the guy. Yeah. Like it comes a learning point, I feel like, for people to understand, like, especially like you have older black belts now, like that are in your team.
Yeah, as for the submission, I think just the way that you train, right? Like trying to pass, try to go for submission. As long as you go for, like I say, man, every time you go for submission, as long as you give the person a time to tap, that's it. All you want to do. There's no need to crank. Then just go hard, just put them in the position, try to tap, and then just make sure don't pull in the head too hard, don't crank their foot too much.
And then don't fly for an armbar 175 miles an hour and just yank the arm before the guy is like, shit. Or dive on a heel hook when the guy's a white belt, doesn't even know what a heel hook is. So, but I think, like, as you said, bro, it's very important for, the instructor to learn that himself, to be able to take care of that. But that's a very valid thing. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, bro, like, I feel like sometimes, like, like I posted this one technique on my YouTube channel, and this guy commented, he's like, oh, this is not legal in the IBJJF rules. And I commented back nicely. I'm not, people are crazy on the internet. I'm not gonna play that game, right? Those kind of comments I don't pay attention. But I told him, I'm like, bro, like, I don't know why you got into jiu-jitsu, but I don't go to IBJJF tournaments. I got into jiu-jitsu in case somebody's trying to kill me. I can save my life, maybe defending myself with some jiu-jitsu. And MMA was what I got into it for, not for competition.
IBJJF exclusive.
I feel like bro, like a lot of what all this has been lost because of the sport. And like I want to get your opinion, like do you think sometimes, like, it's taking away from what this is for? Because I feel the more valuable thing is, because how many of these people that you come to your gym end up being fighters? Very, very little.
But as far as that thing you say, the question every time about IBJJF, when I teach a class, I try to specify, like, say, guys, by the way, when I teach, like, yesterday, I teach a full lock. And now on the full log, you can turn in, you can turn out. Say, in IBJJF, because I have a couple of my son competes at IBJJF, so I make sure they know. I say, if you guys do it at the gym, like 80% of my students don't compete at all. So I say, if you come here in the gym, do it, because I want you guys to get used to doing. Just be mindful that you only can do this if you're brown or black belt, So and I'll be able to be their coach and then remind them, ahead if I know a guy that does that move a lot,
Right.
But and then when you teach that position, always gonna be like that, like like back in the day on the in Brazil, on the only brown belts and black belt could do like a knee bar, or like a toe hold,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they say, then all of us, for example, I'm from that generation. And then when I came into America, I didn't learn how to do a knee bar at all because I wasn't, purple brown. I wasn't brown belt yet. And then when I came, and then because of that, so then I got my black belt. I literally moved it the next day. So then when I came, everybody would go for my leg or my toes. I couldn't defend because I just never did it. It's like I never done before. Yeah. Maybe a straight toe hold. That was the only thing that was as far as I knew it back then.
Yeah.
So then I said, God damn it, I wish even though I knew I couldn't do it, I wish I
had learned it.
I learned it or somebody did it on me, so I can know how to defend. So now I teach the move, obviously. Teach the guys that people that I know they're gonna understand and they're gonna get it. And I'm not gonna teach you like a toe hold, a knee bar to the guy that is starting now. But I try it after 1 year experience, I'll make sure I teach them so they know how to defend, they know how to attack, and you want to be able to offer the best product, You have to offer everything, and then just explain to them, for me, if you do compete in these tournaments, make sure you don't do it,
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. The only thing I think that I've been trying to say lately a lot is I love jiu-jitsu, bro. Like I love MMA for sure, boxing, everything. But I'm a big fan of jiu-jitsu. I'm a representative of jiu-jitsu. The man who saved my life is like, life is jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
So I want jiu-jitsu to be looked at in the best light possible.
Yes.
And I don't want us to forget that, especially for the people that only do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That if you don't compete and one day you actually want to use jiu-jitsu for self-defense.
Yeah.
You better have an instructor that's also showing you kind of like, oh, you can get hit here. In some of these positions, I don't want to necessarily I don't never pull guard in the street. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's some things that I feel like is getting lost because of the jiu-jitsu tournaments in the self-defense aspect.
But then the for example, what I consider I teach the commercial jiu-jitsu with the jiu-jitsu not the self-defense one, more the one that every day come and train. That's the one I learned in Brazil.
Yeah.
And then if you like to compete, you compete. If you don't, you don't. But then for example, then when I teach personal training, the guys say, I want to do jiu-jitsu, but I want to do jiu-jitsu for self-defense.
Yeah.
So then I teach. I have to modify and change.
Yeah.
And then I actually should do that more often actually. But like teaching jiu-jitsu should definitely I say in my mind, and I told everybody that I think jiu-jitsu is the best self-defense if it's one-on-one.
For sure.
If it's a 2 or 3 versus 1, it's not so much.
No, it's not. It's not.
So then there's certain things, a couple things you can do, but I do not grab somebody if I'm more than one person.
I realized that when I was 8-9 years ago. I've talked about it on the show. I had a gun case. From when I was very young, I got in trouble, and jiu-jitsu saved my life. Yes. And the area that I owned, I was in an area where there's some crimes happening, and I wanted to have a gun. I wasn't supposed to have one. I got one. I ended up getting in trouble. I'm going to jail. And I remembered as soon as the first riot happened, I remember, oh yeah, it's gonna be all hands here because I can't go to the ground here. Yeah. There's 1,000 people. There's people running everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. In some situations, like as much as you train jiu-jitsu, it might not help you.
Right?
So that's why I feel like when people ask me these days, like, oh, what do you think is the best martial art? I tell them, for sure, jiu-jitsu, if you had to pick one. But if you can,
1 versus 1, I would say jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
But if you could train MMA, which you had a place where you were
punch or kick,
learn it kind of together, or if you have a jiu-jitsu instructor that can teach you the blending of it, then that's what I would say would be the best. Am I right? Do you feel like I'm right in that area?
You're right. Yeah. That's like how I think, man. It's like they call the MMA. The MMA is amazing self-defense. Use a little bit of everything, Yeah.
And you don't have to be the best at everything. Just know how to do a little bit of everything. I feel like, okay, so the guy's really good boxer. Okay, I'm not gonna box with the guy. He's just punching me hard. I can wrestle with him. I have another option.
I be able to block, defend. Find a safe way to go, man. Sometimes you might have to like beat somebody. Where you have to like defend yourself and just run, for safety, because if you, like the what is the word you use? Like when there's more people, like they versus you, like
Yeah, you can't go down.
Unfortunately, the only bad thing is gonna happen, So, but if you ever, be aware of the space.
That's exactly
throw some
what I
punch
did.
and everything, push, kick, and then.
Because look, when there's a riot in jail, whatever race you're a part of, like all the other races are coming to get you.
Yeah.
Unless you have one ally of another race, and sometimes they don't even get involved.
Yeah.
So like when it's happening, I'm thinking, I've had martial arts experience for many years, and everybody in there knows, so they're kind of hesitant. Well, I knew I got feet here. Yeah. I can move around. I'm not gonna be just stuck here, because a lot of them, they just get stuck in the mud swinging, right? Like drunk swing. Yeah. But I was like, oh shit, I'm like, my head's moving. I didn't get touched, bro, in the riot. I didn't get touched. Nothing to be proud of, but it just goes to show you, like,
man.
Like
it worked. Your confidence was there.
I was ready.
More than anything, you're confident in the moment. I said the scariest thing about being in a situation that when you're nice, and it's going to happen when you least expect, but not being in the moment is scary, because I say, man, if I'm better in a street fight, you gotta be cold blooded and just think about your last day. You just gotta make sure you protect yourself.
And you have to try to remain calm.
Yes.
Like you can't panic.
You can't panic. Yeah.
Like, and that's like something that like a fighter has to go through, right? Like for me, I've been in situations like that I've been like you got to learn to like be calm in those situations too. Like even though it's chaotic and crazy, you have to be aware, and it's the same thing for you when you get in that cage. It's a little bit. I'm sure like when you're getting ready backstage, you're like, but a little bit. Whoo, here we go. I'm getting excited. I'm putting my life on the line.
But for me, it's a good excitement, man. It's a good thing. Just that chilling on the back, but as soon as you know you're next, man, everything's changed. Your demeanor change. Your heart started to race. And it's special. That's why we're doing for as long as I've been doing, because I just really love fighting. And
I'm sure another thing that, especially with you helping coach people and stuff too, I'm sure like another thing we could touch on is like, I'm sure you've got to experience how much people you're helping, and like inspiring, and like the inspiration that you're giving to people by your fights, and like the things you say, and I think martial arts, that's like the most important part of it, bro. Is the passing on,
and this show that you can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to do it, and then for me, like I always say, man, do something that you have a pleasure in doing. Make sure you're happy doing it. You're happy going to the gym every day. It's never gonna be like good days, but there's some bad days out there. But even those bad days, man, like like today was a sparring day. Today was a 50-50 days. Not bad. There are a lot of things I wanted to do in sparring today, but I got caught a couple of times. But then I say, cool, man. Now get some notes, and then we learn from. We get better to the next session.
Off to the next one.
Yes, exactly. So be able to like I think every profession has that. You have to adapt, you have to reinvent yourself, and it just sucks when you're doing something that you wanna, because I done stuff like working there, I didn't want to be there, it made my my hour like 1 hour, they'll take like 10 hours. It felt like 10 hours, because I didn't enjoy doing so. I just never let myself do that again. Like do something that unless you need to do, but like man, like just try to find something that bring you excitement, and you want to do it, and now when you want to do it, you want to be the best at it,
For sure.
Because you're always going to improve every day.
Yeah. Are you still thinking about doing any jiu-jitsu competitions?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I know. I was gonna tell you something. I was gonna. I don't know if you've seen recently. The opponent of yours got his black belt. Demetrius.
Oh yeah, of course.
And a little clip had gone viral of him going against a brown belt.
Big
ultra heavyweight, and he choked him out.
That was amazing. That was a pain. That was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that'd be cool one day, maybe in a rematch for a jiu-jitsu match.
You never know, man.
That'd be sick.
We were competing in the same weight class in jiu-jitsu, featherweight.
That'd be a sick one, bro.
Yeah, man. After this fight, I'm gonna try to focus on. See what's like, but I'm gonna try to focus in Master Worlds. It'll be in Vegas. At the end of August, and then. Yeah, man, he did it last year, so he might pop back
that'd in. That'd be sick, bro.
That'd be fun.
The rematch, that'd be cool. Yeah. Well, shout out to.
But I tell you what, man, he's doing good, man. Goddamn, man. And then and then Even I think he did an interview recently. Somebody like showed to me. They say gi or no gi. I said no gi. You think he would choose no gi because they're MMA, and it's no man. And it makes sense. He's a very creative, smart guy. Yeah. And then jiu-jitsu bring with that the challenge.
Yeah.
When you have to connect, the puzzle and everything. So I think, man, he's amazing.
Let me ask you, a couple quick questions.
Yeah.
Wilson Reis, favorite sweep from the guard, favorite guard sweep.
I like half guard sweep. Yeah.
Okay, which particular?
It's old school. Boom, boom, roll left, roll right, get to you. Take the guy down. Tradition.
It's funny because I love the half guard too. Especially I used to be big into triangle.
Yeah.
But I get this thing where I get the knee shield with the half guard, and I get the near side arm, and I trap it, and I bridge them and
roll them. Got it. Yeah.
One of my favorite sweeps. I call it the legacy sweep. But I'm sure it's got lots of other names, but half guard, bro, for sure. Favorite submission from the bottom.
Short and stocky, man. It was hard to come on the bottom.
Favorite submission from the bottom.
I do the submission, man, like that. It's like from kind of like a quarter guard. I like if you put your hand on my rib cage, I trap the arm and do like straight arm bar. I've been doing it forever, It's kind of like like the.
We're gonna have to get a technique video. You should film it and send it. We can put it in the video. Okay, and then favorite submission from the top.
Like head and arm choke. Sure.
You can't go wrong with that. You know what? I'm gonna tell you my favorite one lately because I just feel like it's so much easier. The north-south choke, bro.
Oh yeah.
I love that choke.
I always see, man. I see like Kron Gracie, Ronnie Aya. I got all these guys that known for that type of choke, and then Marcelo Garcia. And I asked a student of I think it was like my friend Zach Makovsky, fights UFC. I mean fights MMA too. Amazing fighter, fun size. Anyway, I think I asked him in the detail because he also does one of his favorite moves. And I always seen it. I always do the, but mine was just a crank.
Yeah.
So I learned how to do it, man. And I think the one I learned was the Marcelo Garcia version, man. That's badass.
Yeah, I love the north-south choke. I'm really good at it. When I got to at one point I was competing in IBJJF, purple brown belt. I was 240 plus ultra heavyweight. That's when I really got good at that choke because before I was like 160, 170. So I was a little guy game.
Do it, but they're easy for them to defend or
but when you get heavy, when you
have the weight,
you learn how to be a heavy guy. So,
but it's not an easy move to do it, man. It's good. You have, but if you're halfway in, it's very hard to get out too.
It's all on how you control the arms, I believe. If you can control the arms first to get to the neck, then it becomes easier. Then how to use.
No, I play that move a lot. It's actually one of my favorite moves. Yeah.
Okay, bro. A couple other questions I wanted to ask you, bro.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Alex Pereira in the UFC?
Oh man, I think he's amazing, man.
It's crazy,
and
right,
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat him, but I think also too, man. Everything that he has done in the past, all his kickboxing and everything, and his IQ, man, for his striking is amazing, man. You can tell. I was yesterday watching a video on YouTube and how he was so savage and set the things up. He set the tempo for round to round and boom, get you.
He's so nice on the feet. And then the thing that I thought I thought somebody would be able to take him out with jiu-jitsu, but nobody.
Tell you what, man, he did it. He also was smart. Going to Glover because Glover is a great striker but amazing grappler,
and Glover has the wrestling too.
Yes, exactly. Him with Glover, he's in the great hands there. Because not only that, but you have those guys from the mountains in California. There was the guy, the pit gym. Because I know, because
John Hackelman. I talked to John recently.
Because all the. Because when Glover used to train here with Chuck Liddell, so they have good people around them, and I think it's not a mistake, where he's at right now, man. It wasn't easy, man, and I think it's gonna be hard for somebody. Cause the thing that impressed me the most is his size. I said, how come, man? The guy's so big and bony and long and strong.
He's very good. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was like, somebody's gonna tap him out. In the beginning, I was like, but now that I'm like, man,
he's also very similar. He's very calm, very in the moment.
Who's gonna beat him?
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about your weight class. There's a guy in the UFC right now I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
Ilya. to Puerto
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That guy's like.
I actually gotta watch more, man. Literally, like I knew of him, but then I only watched his last 2 fights. Man, but if you look to down his his recent fights, all finishes like
he's nasty.
And then he's also like, man, he's a Spanish guy, and he also very known in the media. Like he goes there, he's cheating, taking pictures with all the soccer players in the Barcelona, Real Madrid. So he has the whole thing, and he's like, he's like celebrity too. So it's nice to see him, man.
Yeah, and that's your weight class.
Yeah, man. Hey,
maybe one day.
Maybe one day, man. Yeah.
That'd be a sick fight.
No, the guy's amazing, man. The guy's like definitely.
Who's Wilson Reis walking out to for the next fight? Music.
Oh, music. I'm always the same, man. B.I.G. Yeah, Notorious Thugs.
We gotta get you to walk out to one of my songs.
Yeah. I'll do the intro.
Is that your favorite? Is that what you listen to?
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Notorious.
I think like in all my MMA fights, I think there's like at least half. I walk all the same song, man. Notorious Thugs. Yeah. I just love the beginning of the beat. And then when the B.I.G. start rapping, I'm so hyped, man. Usually when the B.I.G. start rapping, I'm like, that's when they're just checking my gloves. And then when I hear his voice coming, what time to go in?
Time to get in there. Hell yeah, B.I.G. Yeah, he was one of my favorites. I remember there was a song back in the day when I first really started listening to rap and I wanted to rap. He had a song called "Give Me the Loot," and the song he's talking about robbing mother. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Yeah. That shit, man. I was riding around with my homeboys in the car in Santa Ana with the speakers, the hair. I could feel the hair stick up on my head. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's about crazy timing, man. Because you're right here in LA, right by Tupac's those town.
Special time, man.
It was a special time.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like it's just the music has changed so much since then, bro. It's like, that's why you see a lot of the old school guys still listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they don't relate to that.
They'll never get old, man.
Let me ask you, while we're on the topic of music, I'm going to ask you something that went a little bit viral in the news recently. I want to get your thoughts on it. I talked about it recently, too. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did you see the video, the viral video of him? He comes out the hotel room in his wardrobe.
Actually, my girlfriend showed that to me.
She showed it to you? This bro, like, damn, man. Like, what? I'm not even gonna say. What are your initial thoughts, like, as a man, like, seeing that? Like, what do you think, like, when you see somebody act like that?
Man, like,
is it hard for you to see?
No, it's hard for me to see it, man. And then unfortunately, come from Brazil, and then. But I experienced, domestic violence in the past, and then family stuff, and it's not, it's not right, and it's just sad, it's sad, and then somebody will do that. But that was like, man, that was very hard to see, as a man, because they should never do that to a woman, and a woman should never go through that type of experience.
No, there's been a lot of debate. People say, oh, like, what did she do in the room? And
but doesn't like matter.
That's what I say. You should never, like, even if the girl puts her hands on you, you should not put your hands on a woman.
Huge disadvantage. And
it's just not
fair.
Even
if it comes down for this trying to disadvantage, just thing they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, dude, billionaire he's ruined his whole reputation and ruined his life.
Which is sad, man, because I like his music. I like like all the bad boy, like back in the day and stuff. But yeah, man. Unfortunately,
it seems like a lot of our popular singers and people like all end up getting in big trouble. Like it's crazy what money.
Not all, but but a lot of them. But at the same time, too, man, there's a lot of them out there that just like they know the business is crazy.
More money, more parties, more problems.
Yeah.
Like look at Conor McGregor.
But he settled down. He got stuff together. You have to put certain people in your life, man, to keep you out of trouble. I think like family foundation, father and mother, like brothers and uncles and aunts. You have the family. If it's not the family, somebody there to there's. I have so many people in my life that can put me in my place real quick.
Yeah,
and I think you need to be checked. Make sure because especially when you win and the money's coming, man. You meet a lot of people, a lot of good people, a lot of
girls
people.
Want you. Everybody wants to be your friend, exactly. And everybody wants to party with you.
People, and then the drugs, the alcohol, and the parties, and just. I guess it's not easy, but it happens a lot. People get lost, and then they do things they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, for sure. That's speaking of Conor McGregor, bro. He's got a fight against Michael Chandler. Are you a fan of those two?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Who do you like? Like while we're on the subject, who do you think takes that one?
Man, like I was gonna say Chandler has advantage because he's being more active fighting MMA, but he hasn't fought in a couple of years either. He was waiting for that big fight, you can't blame him for that. But I think at this point it'll be a 50-50 fight, but recently I see like Conor McGregor, maybe he's hiding, but you see he only meets with his boxing coach, and I know he always had very specific training camps when he's like dialing, got all his corners with him. He has about like 5-6 coaches, and he's only posting about his boxing. Maybe I'm not following him enough, but I almost like say, I don't think he's training for a fight. It doesn't seem that he's training for a fight. He still look huge.
Yeah.
But who knows? The fights there by pay-per-view, so I'm pretty sure he knows he has a responsibility to fight. But I think the 50-50 man chance. I think like both of them. I just think that the longer, no, not even the longer. I think just commitment. I don't think he has like he had it before. So that gives a little bit of the advantage to Chandler. But I say, man, whoever wins, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, that's what you're absolutely. I would say the same thing. It's like you never know. I would say maybe Michael Chandler could have an advantage if he ever tried to wrestle, but we've never seen him wrestle, right? Yeah. So,
but at the same time, does he has the condition to hold him? Because exactly. Conor McGregor he does die. They're both known for to have like a 2 or 3 round gas tank, like so who knows in the 5th round. Chandler also get tired too, and he's posed before.
It's just it's one of those fights that could go either way, but for sure it's gonna be one of those fights that everybody's gonna watch.
Oh yeah.
Did you another thing I was gonna ask you? Did you get a chance to watch Ngannou fight in the boxing?
I watched both fights. Yeah, with Joshua and the Gypsy King.
Yeah, man.
And I thought he won, man, the first fight.
I thought he won the Tyson fight. That's
especially in the boxing rules. That's why I think that's why they were surprised that I know, but this time he got more hurt. But I think I was surprised that Usyk won his fight this past weekend, beat him, because I think in boxing there's so much politics. And then those judges or like hey man, for the fight was for decision, I give to this guy. I think that happens in boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think that's what happened in Gunner then, But then I was just surprised in how fast Joshua took him out too.
Yeah.
I thought he had a little bit more. Joshua just that gangster.
No, yeah, he's good. He's good, man. It's those big boys, man. It's crazy. It's any when you can't do anything else but just throw the it's for sure gonna end up like that. But yeah, it was crazy to see Tyson finally lose too. Like, it was. I
don't want to see him losing, but at the same time, I say, man, like the guy won fair and square.
He did it. Another thing I was gonna ask you, Masvidal versus Nate.
Yeah, that's gonna be boxing. I haven't followed that much. I should like look into it because I like Masvidal a lot. Yeah. I always like Nate Diaz, but Masvidal I spent like we did watch fights with him. We've been in the UFC. I think it was like UFC Peru. No, it was the city next to Peru, Chile. UFC Chile. Me here, Masvidal, and then the kid from here lives near here. They just fought for the title. They live right here in Orange County. From Ecuador, Chito Vera.
Chito Vera, yeah. Well, Jason was here. Shout out to Jason. Yeah. Jason
Chito and then Masvidal, we were in the city together. It was badass, good times.
Hell yeah,
the guys were fun.
Shit, what do you think of the bare knuckle MMA?
I think it's really good, man.
Don't you think like? I mean,
I should be excited to try. I should like mention to my manager, but he said the company is not doing so well right now or something like that. But I think just for the experience, man. Just like I was talking about, like fighting to fight someone night to be doing bare knuckle could be a similar thing. Like just do it for the sake of someone to be out there or just be right there, no gloves,
Hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they'll pay well too because it's more risk on the body.
For sure.
And it'll be cool, man, to do it with nothing, just go there and just
I think if you're really gonna get as close to a full fight as you can, like a street fight.
Yeah,
with the bare.
It'll be definitely bare knuckle. Yeah,
bare knuckle MMA. Like damn, yeah. I like it. I like the idea of it. I think it should be more. It should be promoted more, especially for people that like MMA.
It's like in the man, like no, it looks scary, and then if you do get hit, you're gonna get cut. But man, there's a lot of all these fights. You don't see much crazy thing. The bare knuckle boxing, you see a lot of bad injury, like a lot of cuts. But the MMA not so much, man. If anything, it's always an exciting fight. I want to watch.
I just had one of the girls that her name's Jessica Borgia. She fights for BKFC. She was just here. Have you been watching like the Mike Perry show? Like I want to call it the Mike Perry show. Fuck, bro.
I haven't watched, but just watch the highlights. But he was made for that, man.
Seriously,
I must have for him because I always liked him anyway. So like the way that he carries himself, he talks crazy shit. He always brings it, man. I said, man, good thing he found something that he likes and he makes money on.
And it's blowing up. And the guy we just spoke of, Conor McGregor, now owns part of the company, so he's gonna be promoting it. It's gonna get bigger.
It's gonna get bigger. Yeah,
it's awesome. I think it's.
And I feel like for Mike, man, he's in a great place. And man, it's like Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens fights for no big, the better for no boxing.
There are a lot of like in some ways.
Jeremy is like him in like a lighter version. Jeremy's like, man, like his last fight, he cut the guy, knocked the guy down, and then it was an easy win. It was easier than all his fights. He has done a lot of fights like that in UFC. So I think that some of those guys, man, got those like they're made for that, for knockout boxing. They're like they find the technique in a place that people just think it's a savage event, but no, they're like, no, man, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Jeremy said, man, he has the old technique that he uses, that he trains for. No, you better not gotta do this. So he's still a technical, and just relentless, just go there.
It's a crazy sport. I remember, when I really sat down to watch, I was like, this isn't just like two street fighters fighting. This is two trained fighters going bare
with no protection.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, it's
the first swing is somebody's already like bleeding.
Yeah. It's like, it's vicious. It's vicious. You got to be a real fan of fighting to sit down and watch it. And I think everybody that's a fan of MMA and especially the mixed martial artists are a fan of it. You know what I mean? Like, because they're real fighters.
Yeah, man. And those guys, the sports is growing. That's why you got Conor McGregor involved. Got so many people involved. Then. I mean, the more opportunities, the better. I like that. I love opportunities. Man, there's a lot of fighters out there, and then the more platforms for them to perform, the better.
For sure.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. Bro, have you another fun? I'm gonna ask you some funny questions today, like a little bit different because last time we did like your whole history.
Yeah.
I was like, this time we're gonna talk about some other stuff. Yeah. Have you heard the Kendrick versus the Drake songs?
Yeah.
Okay, who won? Just give me your opinion. Who won?
I actually never listened to the Drake one. I always listen to the Kendrick one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Because I love the beat, man. The kind of old school beat in the song. But man, I'm from Brazil, so I don't care so much about the words, because by the time I translate to my head, and it's already he's already doing something else. So I just listen to the beat.
What's funny,
if the beats make sense, boom.
I'm gonna tell you something funny, and I know most of you guys that listen to that song don't understand what he's saying either. Even though you live in America, bro, they don't know what he's saying. Even me, I'm a rapper. Even sometimes I gotta like replay to hear he's saying a lot of shit. Yeah. But it's a dope song, bro.
Dope song. Okay, so and it's crazy right now because if I open my Instagram, everybody's highlight you using that song.
Enough said. Kendrick won.
Yeah,
my boy. Thank you so much, bro. I think today we talked about a lot of cool stuff. We talked about, the last fight, what you got coming up. Anything we got left you want to talk about, or, if any shout out to any of the team, the people, this, I'll give the floor to you. If there's anything you want to touch on before we get out of here.
No, man, I appreciate the results. Fun coming here, man. Like those chat and everything, laughing. And
we got a tradition now, bro.
Yeah, keep it doing, man.
Let's just keep this going.
Keep it going, man.
You go and perform and go get another big win, and let's do it again. And let's see where this going.
I want to give a shout out to my
What up, everybody? Want to take a quick second out of the podcast just to give a shout out to our sponsor, the best criminal defense attorney I know. The last time I got in trouble, I needed somebody that was going to look into my case and actually fight for me and get me the best deal possible, and he did that. And I'll make sure that he does that for you. Make sure you shout me out if you guys reach out to him. They're the sponsor of the Convo. You know anybody, a family member or yourself that make a mistake, you want somebody like him on your side. Arash, please let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Thank you. Arash Hashemi, 310-448-1529, or hashemilaw.com, HASHEMILAW.com, or just Google hashtag Better Call Hash. Remember that, Better Call Hash. You'll find me on every social media channel all over the internet. 310-448-1529.
You better call Hash.
To my team, Azteca Boxing Club, we down there in Bonita, San Diego. Any fighters that want to come train, with us, we're open gym, sparring sessions, all that. And we have, like my jiu-jitsu team, the boxing club in San Diego. We teach in the East Village jiu-jitsu class for all levels. Anybody want to come roll and stuff, to come try a class. And that's it, man. We're just here, in San Diego, train and teach and do my running every day in PB by the bay, So just living life, and and then I love the life. I love the lifestyle, like now getting ready for the cage or fight. It'd be very super exciting, and then after that I start training for gi, I just want to come here to Anaheim, watch the Worlds Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Nothing next week, I think, here at the Pyramid. Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. You guys can and follow me on Instagram, Wilson Reis _Reis, Wilson Hayes 7.
Hayes is spelled R-E-I-S.
Yes, R-E-I-S, and on X as well. And that's it, man. Just follow.
And the fight that's coming up, this podcast will be dropping on the week of the fight, which will be June 7th.
Yeah, June 7th
at the Sycuan Hotel.
Yeah, Sycuan Casino. Yeah,
I said the other way. Sycuan. Sycuan Hotel and Casino.
Hotel Casino.
Get your tickets if you can make it out. He's the main event again.
Yeah, with the cool man,
don't matter.
We're gonna be there, no matter.
He's the main event.
We're definitely fighting.
When Wilson Reis is in the house, Wilson Reis is the main event.
Yeah,
my boy. Thank you so much for being here,
pleasure, brother.
God bless you. We're riding with you, guys. I hope you liked the episode. Make sure you check them out. We will put the description to the gym and the Instagram and everything in the comments, in the description. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Tell your mama and your daddy. We're doing it for the jiu-jitsu and MMA community. Wilson Reis, legend. Thank you, bro. Appreciate y'all. Peace. See you on